following podcast contains mature content. The views and opinions expressed by the co-hosts are not necessarily those of the host. Listener discretion is advised. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the only podcast where you can get these hands. This is the Smackin Raw podcast. This is episode 34, and I am your host, the Warden, Matt Ritter. And I am back with my co-host, the real heel Eric Siekr, and Sir Cuss-a-Lot, Travis Pointer.
Hey, yo.
And we are coming off the heels of Fastlane, Monday Night Raw, and SmackDown. We've got a lot to talk about tonight. But first off, I just want to explain, because I listened to the podcast last week, that it's not that there isn't Wi-Fi in Utah. It's that I didn't have a laptop in Utah to connect to Wi-Fi so that I could get on and do the podcast with you.
So you can't put a laptop in the bag?
I don't own a laptop.
Yeah, well, I need you to get.
Own a laptop.
Well, I need you to move on into the 21st century and get a laptop, sir.
Yeah.
And I didn't get a tablet, which I probably could have used until I got back. So maybe next time I'll bring the tablet and the headphones and we'll try it that way, because I can get Zoom on that Android tablet.
Yeah, I thought maybe they
Skype.
just didn't have Wi-Fi in Salt Lake
no.
City because of religious reasons or something.
No,
Yeah,
they
don't
do.
They don't believe in internet, and they definitely don't believe in internet porn.
Yeah, more wives, less internet.
I will say, while I was watching internet porn, it seemed very, very slow out there. Like they were monitoring me and trying to slow down my content intake all week.
They don't like the porn out there, man. They don't like the porn in Utah.
They don't like
They also,
but you can have as many wives as you like.
Here's the thing, though.
I wanted to
Trade
go to
off.
a strip club while I was out there. But go ahead.
No, I was just saying, here's the thing. They are they block so much porn out in Utah that there are porn stars who legitimately move to Utah because people won't recognize them.
Well, I wanted to go to a
bullshit.
strip club while I was out there in Utah. But I read some reviews, and it wasn't worth the money I would have paid the Uber driver to take me to go visit one of their establishments, so I decided not to go. Anyway, since we're on the subject of you guys talking shit about me last week, I think
We didn't talk any shit about you.
Oh, bullshit.
We didn't talk any shit about you. We didn't talk any shit about you, you piece of shit.
Let me be completely honest with you. Let me be completely honest with you. I was so drunk, I don't remember what I said. So, what happened?
Oh, there was talk about how the podcast gets higher ratings when I'm not around and blah 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 blah. There was a lot of shit talking.
There's numbers to back.
Talking on Monday Night Raw behind Nia Jax's back. I know there is. We've talked about that every week. But as I said, you guys were talking shit about me last week, and this week on Monday Night Raw, Alexa and Mickey got caught talking shit about Nia Jax behind her back.
I thought that was a really cool segment.
All I really remember from last week is just going on and on about Gold Dust. But anyway, what I was gonna back to this Nia Jax thing. So,
but what about this Gold Dust thing? I mean,
I would much rather talk about Gold Dust right now. But the whole Nia Jax thing on Raw. Let me just say it's interesting that Mickie James was a part of this, because I remember a certain storyline involving Mickie James when they did this whole Mean Girls thing to her, you know? And it was just like, huh.
Oh, yeah, Piggy James.
Yeah, with the whole Piggy James thing and all that. It's like, huh, interesting how she's on the other side of that this time. But, yeah, go ahead.
WWE's big on fat shaming. For those of you who might not have seen, essentially what happened was Asuka came out after Travis. Well, here, let me say this first. I'm giving predictions this week to Travis for Fastlane. Reason being, technically you and Eric tied, but you not only correctly predicted that Asuka was going to come out and challenge Charlotte, despite the fact that even they mentioned it on Monday Night Raw, we really had no indication, and it seemed like she was going to challenge on Raw, even though it didn't make sense, and I agree 100%. But you also correctly, I don't know why I can't say that word today, correctly predicted the exact way the Bludgeon Brothers match, or the tag team match featuring the Bludgeon Brothers, was going to end, almost as if you had written the show for Fastlane.
It like I've said it
So,
before. Like
Travis gets the win
I said it
for
in the
backstage.
Facebook group. Like it's almost as if I know what I'm talking about. It's almost as if I've been watching this shit for 25 plus years and I know how wrestling works. Like they kind of laid it out right in front of us and said, "Hey, this is what we're gonna do." But apparently nobody else sees it but me. So okay.
Anyway, Asuka did come out to challenge Charlotte after the women's title match. She comes out on Raw. Mickie James and Alexa talk some shit. They end up jumping her after they called for Nia Jax, who didn't show up. Alexa goes in the back, asks Nia why she didn't come out, gives her a little pep talk before her squash match against a nobody, and then directly after the match, a camera, I wish we were live right now, a camera, I'm doing air quotes, was left on waiting for the announcer to come and do an interview, which caught both Mickie James and Alexa Bliss pretty much fat shaming Nia as she stood in the ring and watched.
Here's my thing. Not only was the camera left on, air quotes, but it was also connected to the Titantron and streamed on the Titantron accidentally.
They definitely would have heard their voices booming through the auditorium.
Exactly. My thing is, why wouldn't the folks in the truck why did the folks in the truck stream it to the Titantron in the middle of her match? Like,
you gotta let that go.
No.
The match.
No.
I'll tell you what, the way that Charlie Caruso or whatever her name is played it, it almost seemed like she was complicit.
Like she was a part of it. She was like, "Yeah, I set you up."
Yeah, like because they're always talking shit about her, and so she's like, "Yeah, guess what, bitches? That mic was on."
Motherfucker. So you know what? If
you
that's
guys
what
remember
happened, if she was a part of it and she set them up, then I can believe it.
Yeah.
So you know what? That's the story I'm
That's
going with
how
because
it felt to me. I
yeah,
could
you
be
know
wrong,
what? That's the
but it
story I'm
seemed like she
going
was
with
coming
because
out
it's
like-
much easier to digest that way. So I'm gonna say that's what happened.
Yeah.
Do you guys
It's
remember?
like you're gonna talk shit about me. I control the microphones. I control the cameras, interviews, everything back here.
What were you saying, Matt? Eric keeps interrupting you because he's rude.
I know every time I go to say, "Do you guys remember CCTV?" He just gets really loud and talks over me like an asshole.
What's CCTV?
CCTV.
No.
Remember the black and white camera that they used to capture? Like they caught Val Venus, I think, pissing on Big Show's leg in the bathroom, or all the shit that used to happen on Monday Night Raw that we weren't supposed to see. It was like hidden camera footage. It was all black and white, but it would come on with shit happening in the background that would like bust people doing shit they weren't supposed to do.
No, I don't remember that.
You'll have to look it up because there is a CCTV thing where someone pees on Big Show's leg in the bathroom. They're like having a conversation in turn, and they like piss down his leg, and he gets angry as shit. I think there's one where
I remember
Big Show-
that. I remember that happening because I remember it being green, and I was so confused as to why his sweatpants were green with the piss, and it was like nobody's pee is green. Yeah, I remember seeing he was wearing gray sweatpants. Like I remember that shit. I remember that happening, but I don't remember a CCTV thing. Okay.
You'll have to look it up. I might be mixing two things up, but I'm pretty sure it was CCTV. There was one that was black and white, and then they eventually went to color as technology moved on.
Yeah, that was in
It
color.
was closed circuit TV. It was in the arena, and it was just catching people and shit going on the backstage. Like I said, I think there was one where Big Show ate a bad burrito and was like taking a shit in a stall, and someone walked in and like passed out from the smell, and there was a lot of noises and shit. You know, Vince loves shit and farts. Like he's a 70-year-old child.
No, I'm about to say he's 12 years old on the inside. It's just, fart jokes and boobs. That's what he likes. So it's just.
So anyway, we
Which
were
is why
talking
as a
about Nia
12-year-old I
Jax
love
and all that.
WWE.
I agree with everything you guys said, and it looks like we're finally going to get Nia Jax versus Alexa, which was the match we all wanted and made sense for WrestleMania. So we're going there. Nia was pissed, came back, destroyed every light thing she could find in that locker room. Like she was tearing dresses and throwing baskets. Didn't break anything heavy or expensive. But we also talked about how Travis was correct in predictions, and unfortunately, because I really didn't want this to happen, we have to talk about John Cena and how he called out The Undertaker.
Oh, let's talk about this. Listen.
Yeah.
Listen. Had Braun Strowman not come out and destroyed the entire tag team division by himself, this would have been my favorite part of the fucking night. Only because I knew as this happened, I get to talk shit to Matt Ritter. Like, this is all because, like, when this happens, I'm like, oh, I get to fuck with Matt now. Like, that's all I cared about. I knew what he said, and I'm listening to what he said. He's kind of valid in what he said. It doesn't even really matter. My thing was, because this happens, it allows me to talk shit to Matt. And that's all that I care about most of the time.
Well, before you get into talking shit and before Eric jumps in with his thoughts, let me just say this. I didn't want this match to happen. I don't think it has any validity. I think it's 5 years too late, and that if Cena does win or if Undertaker does win, because he's lost twice at WrestleMania, no matter how many times he shows up, it doesn't matter and it means absolutely nothing. So there's really no stakes in this.
Any Undertaker match that happens now is 5 years too late. I told you he should have ended in that Hell in a Cell match with Triple H. That should have been it. He should have been done. He should have never came back after that. It was a perfect farewell. So anything that happens after that is his own fucking fault.
Well, I don't agree with that, but I agree with where he should have.
Yeah, it is.
But
he doesn't have to come back if he doesn't want to. Like he did at WrestleMania match. He could have just said, fuck it, I'm done. But he came back anyway.
It's not official yet, is it?
The Undertaker hasn't come out and accepted yet, but
Eric, you know this match is happening. You know this match is happening.
And it's not going to be a bad match. John Cena will help Undertaker through it and make Undertaker look a lot better than Roman Reigns did last year.
Exactly.
It'll be a decent match. Hopefully Undertaker wins. John Cena loses. Who knows what's going to happen? Like I said, he's already lost twice, so the streak doesn't matter. Nothing really matters. There's nothing on the line here.
Here's the thing, man. Like,
the guy who's been the face of the company the last 10 years, the Undertaker.
Here's the thing. Like, it's just I give John Cena a lot of shit. But I have to point out, he is not what he was when I first started giving him shit. When I first started giving him shit, he had like 2 moves and a third one, which was just like, I don't even count the 5-knuckle shuffle as a move. But like, he had 3 moves at the most that he did every match. Everything else was just like him running around and shoulder blocking and pushing people and shit. And he just sucked in the ring. And I was tired of him because he was like, he was Dr. Seuss in a baseball cap, and he did 3 moves. And I hated it. And then they just started just shoving him down my throat. I'm like, oh, fuck you. Thing is, he's gotten a lot better. He's a lot better in the ring than he used to be when I first started hating him. But I've already committed to this, so I was just like, fuck you.
I get that.
However, I feel like in this match, he can bring The Undertaker to a good match because despite what John Cena says, yes, The Undertaker is too old. He is broken down. He has no business in the fucking ring right now. The dude can barely walk. After that match with Brock Lesnar, they had to like cart him out. They were checking his pulse and shit. The man damn near died in the ring multiple times. Sit your ass down.
He's got a new hip.
He needs
Eric, what are your thoughts about
he needs
John
to sit
Cena
his old ass down.
I think he's great. I like to see him. Undertaker's got a fresh hip, and I think that fresh hip is going to come into play on the grandest stage of them all.
Listen, I prefer to remember The Undertaker the way I saw him in that match against Shawn Michaels the first time.
I get that. I get that 100%, Travis, and I agree with you. I mean, he had a good match with CM Punk. You had the 2 Triple H matches, which were built really well, even though it wasn't, the Shawn Michaels match, what may be the greatest match in WrestleMania history.
Listen. I remember watching that match. I had a house full of people that day. And that was one of those matches we legitimately were on the edges of our seats. I can't remember the last time I was watching a match besides that match where I'm watching it just like leaning forward like this, like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. The whole fucking match. And now we're left with this shit that we got now, and it's just like, go home.
Travis, are you having issues with Eric's audio? Or sorry, Eric, are you having issues with Travis's audio like I am?
Yep.
Okay. We'll see how it plays out on the recording, but you're like freezing up and kind of dragging out, and then everything just kind of comes in real quick.
Interesting.
So if you guys hear it on the podcast when we post it, that's what's going on. We hear it too, and we will look into it and get it fixed if it is an issue. If it doesn't come out to you guys that way, fucking great. Pretend I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like you're talking through a wah-wah pedal.
Interesting.
Right?
That's really weird. Well, I'm glad, I'm thinking they'll be able to hear me, though, because, the recording's happening here.
Normally we can, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
We had another promo other than John Cena's. Kurt Angle came out, talked some shit. Roman Reigns interrupted because Kurt Angle told us, again, Brock Lesnar's not showing up. Roman Reigns cut an promo. It wasn't as good as the last one he cut, but it wasn't terrible, which led to him going in the back to confront Vince McMahon. They had a closed door conversation that led to Roman Reigns being temporarily suspended. And Vince told us that we will have Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, and that he guarantees Brock Lesnar will be here next week on Monday Night Raw.
Yo, listen. If we didn't know for sure that it was a work last week, we definitely know it's a work now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And my thing is, I hope Brock doesn't show up again until WrestleMania. Like, it's just, like, I want Brock to it's just like a full fuck you to everybody. Like, people complain about Brock and his whole, like, he shows up when he wants. He only does certain dates and all that kind of shit. You know why Brock does that? Because Brock's a fucking star, and he does what the fuck he wants to do. And I am not mad at anybody for getting their money and doing what the fuck they want to do. Here's the thing. I know you don't like it. I know most fans who just watch wrestling and want to see people compete all the time don't like it. But I appreciate somebody who does what the fuck they want because they have the power to do it.
McMahon made a good case for it on Monday night. He basically said it. He said exactly that.
He's like, yeah, Brock gets privileges that other people don't get. You know why? Because he's fucking Brock Lesnar. That's why. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
That's really the only explanation you need.
You guys talked about Paul Heyman's promo last week. You're talking about Vince McMahon making that explanation this week. And Travis, I don't mind if Brock Lesnar doesn't show up. I mind if Brock Lesnar doesn't show up while he has the title.
Well, he won't.
The title I want on Raw.
He won't have the title after WrestleMania. Like, he's going to drop the belt at Mania. So it's just fine.
He's going to, or God, he better.
He will. He won't have the belt after WrestleMania. It's fine. So you'll be okay. It's just hold out till
my issue isn't. I was just gonna say my issue isn't Brock Lesnar not showing up. It's the belt not showing up, and Brock Lesnar happens to be the one that holds it. I don't care if Brock Lesnar leaves for 5 fucking years. He can go away. Just give someone else the belt so I can see that defended more than once every 3 to 4 months. That's my issue.
Here's the thing about that is, though, if that's the way they do it, that means every time the Universal title is defended, it's a fucking event. So it's just...
That's what you said. I don't agree.
It makes it more. It actually does make it more special. You defend that title every month, that's one thing. But you defend that title every 3 months, it's just like, oh, I have to pay attention to this shit because it's the first time it's been defended since fucking SummerSlam. So it's just,
That's not the way I look at it. The way I look at it, like, oh, Brock Lesnar finally showed up. Great, now we finally get a title match.
That's how you look at it. I keep trying to tell you that this product is not created for us. That's the thing. It's not made for us. Because you know why? They know we're going to keep watching anyway because they know we love it. It's for those other people. The regular people out there who tune in every now and then or maybe tune in when something special happens. That's who they make this shit for. They don't make it for us anymore. They know they have us already.
I don't care who they make it for. I'm still going to bitch and complain about it.
I hear you're bitching and complaining. I understand why you're bitching and complaining. I'm just telling you they don't care. that's
Oh,
all.
I get that. You've made that very clear over like the last 3 to 4 weeks as you keep repeating yourself, but it's not going to change anything. So I'm letting you know, I hear you. They're not making it for us. I get it. And I'm going to continue to bitch and complain because you were nice enough to give me a podcast where I could come out and bitch and complain and make me the host. And I appreciate that. Eric, what do you got for what do you got for us?
Whatever. Brock Lesnar
Let
is
me just,
Brock Lesnar.
let me just point out
Good
one
for
thing
him.
though, because like I'm a little disappointed that when Roman Reigns came out and did his thing, I'm very, very disappointed that Goldust didn't come out and challenge Roman Reigns.
I am too.
Like,
That was my favorite part of your conversation last week was I it's the lost episode and I'm so mad that episode is missing. Our 20th episode, Eric and I had this epic conversation where I explained to Eric Goldust needs to be Universal or WWE champion. And Eric said
I
I was
brought that
fucking
up.
stupid, I was
I brought that
crazy,
up.
blah blah blah. I know, but you accepted it last week and I wasn't here to revel in it. I had to sit there and enjoy it without being able to put in my 2 cents about it. I agreed with everything you said. Goldust versus Brock Lesnar, where Goldust is a major or Brock is a major homophobe and is freaked out and doesn't want to wrestle him because Goldust is like licking him and trying to grab his dick and shit. Like, great. Goldust coming out every week and challenging main eventers and losing or winning doesn't matter. Great. I love it. I want to see it. I agree.
that's what I'm
think-
saying, man. Like, nothing would make me happier right now in the world of wrestling than seeing Goldust come out every week and challenge a top tier guy. Like, now this week, Braun just won that big battle royal. So next week, I feel like he should come out and Braun talk about whatever he just did, and Goldust challenges him. Just because he gets squashed, but Goldust challenges him. Every week, he needs to challenge a top tier guy. It would make me so fucking happy.
Well, you brought it up, Eric, or Travis, so we'll talk about it. The main event for Raw was scheduled after the Bar came out to have a match against the Miz Taraj, and every tag team on the Raw roster came out and pretty much jumped the Bar. So they decided in our main event, we are going to have an over-the-top rope battle royal with all of the tag teams, and the winner of that match gets a championship match at WrestleMania against the Bar. And motherfucking Braun Strowman, who Travis has been telling for the last 3 or 4 weeks, they have no idea what they were going to do with. There were rumors of him facing The Miz, this and that. He didn't go on to WrestleMania. Is going to WrestleMania by himself. And I pray to God he wins that match.
Oh, he will.
And holds the tag
Oh, he will.
by
I think it's
himself.
gonna
He
happen.
is going to
It's
win
gonna
that shit, and he's going to walk out with both tag team belts, and he will be the tag team champs by his fucking self. Listen, I didn't give a fuck about the tag team division on Raw. Now I care because Braun Strowman is going to win the tag team titles by himself.
And I'm happy with that. I was not excited about him putting the business. I was sad that he wasn't going on to face Brock Lesnar. But this right here, the idea that he came out and single-handedly pretty much beat every tag team on the SmackDown roster by himself.
Here's the thing.
And now is going to go to the Bar and take out a former Intercontinental champion and a former multi-time WWE champion and take away their tag team titles and hold them by himself makes me so fucking happy.
Here's the thing. Because we know. You even talked about it. The tag division on Raw sucks. Nobody gives a fuck about the tag division on Raw. All the good tag teams are on SmackDown. So it's just... Now I care about the tag division on Raw because Braun Strowman is going to win the belts, and he's going to be the tag champs on his own.
You'll probably carry him for a while too. I think
And it's
it'll-
going to be fucking great.
Yeah, that's some good entertainment right there.
Oh, yeah.
Until until he's ready to go on and get his main event push for the Universal title, let this man be the first ever person to hold both tag team titles by himself.
That's so
And I
fucking
almost
awesome,
hope
bro.
squash match. I almost hope he just goes in there and beats the shit out of both guys. They make it like a tornado tag match.
Yes.
Just fucks him up and wins it in 30
This
seconds.
is so
then-
fucking awesome.
Did you guys notice during that match that the coach called Bo Dallas Rhino? And then
Yes,
when they
I did.
called him out on it,
Yes.
they look the same from behind.
Yes. And that made me so fucking happy. I laughed so hard. I'm like, they do, because they wear the same shit. Oh, that's funny.
You guys got any more thoughts about this Braun Strowman match? Anything else you want to talk about that you enjoyed from that?
Nah.
That's it.
Well, Braun Strowman wasn't the only one who did some squashing this week at the tag team division. As we talked about earlier, the Bludgeon Brothers came out, interrupted at Fastlane the tag team title match, and pretty much laid to waste the New Day and the Usos. Sent Xavier Woods to the hospital with spinal contusions. Again, more air quotes. The only two men left standing were Jimmy Uso and Big E. There was a spirited conversation between the two. They came out to face the Bludgeon Brothers and then also got beaten down by
Let's just talk about that Big E promo for a second, because, before the New Day, we didn't hear these vocalization skills of Big E. And this was a hell of a promo from Big E. He had a hell of a promo last week. And he's just like, Big E, sir, where have you been? Why didn't they let you talk for real before? You know what I mean? Like,
Eric, you're awfully quiet. You got something? I know you always talk about how the Bludgeon Brothers outfits suck and they need to change, but I'll tell you what, during Fastlane when they were just laying waste to everyone, I'm just used to it, but they actually looked like two legitimate badasses even in those outfits. And it kind of worked.
Yeah, I still don't like the outfits. If they came out and how they used to be, and with that sweet slide guitar song, I think that'd be great. But they didn't look badass though, and it's cool. It was a clever way to get them to beat legitimate.
Oh yeah.
Instead of defeating an actual tag team.
Yeah. If you guys aren't sure what that noise is, that is Travis trying to do, I believe Eric Rowan or Luke Harper. I think it was Luke Harper's theme music after he left the Wyatt.
Up. Uh-oh. We lost you.
At the Hardy compound.
Wait. Matt, we lost you for a second. What'd you say?
Oh.
Could be good.
Eric, did you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you. Hardy compound.
Eric, you lost me, but I'll say it again. The father of the Wyatt family, the man that brought us Eric Rowan and Luke Harper, is going to be on Monday in an Ultimate Deletion match at the Hardy compound. Hopefully the culmination of this Matt Hardy versus Bray Wyatt feud. And this is, I believe, what Eric's been looking for out of this feud, because we had a promo from Matt Hardy. I don't know if you guys saw it on the Hulu version, where we were at the Hardy compound. We met all the family members. We saw the drone. Is this what you're looking for, Eric? Is this what you've been telling us we need?
They showed like a brief preview of it on a Raw, yeah. And it's basically, exactly, what we saw in the original TNA version. So it seems like they're copying it pretty closely, but I don't know until we see the whole thing.
All right.
It's
We'll
cool.
see. It's gonna be funny though. It should be real fun.
It'll be fun. We're going to have this one last match before they become a tag team, because it's going to happen, because they have no tag teams on Raw.
Well, I'll tell you this. Jeff Hardy will not be coming back to be Matt's tag team partner.
No, he won't.
Got arrested for a DUI.
He will not.
Suspended.
Oh, he
We haven't
might
heard
be.
suspended. We haven't heard he's suspended, but with that DUI, I'm pretty sure he's going to get more than a slap on the wrist, because he has a history of fucking up in their wellness policy violation.
Yeah, but for something like that, they would probably just send the guy to rehab or something.
Here's the
You know how many
thing,
times
man.
they've sent Jeff Hardy to rehab?
Well, they've sent Jeff Hardy to rehab several times, but I don't think they really care about DUIs. You know how many people get DUIs with them? Like,
Yeah, like actually Jimmy or Jey Uso, I forget which one, just had a DUI like a
Yeah.
month or two ago.
they don't give a
See,
fuck
the
about
They just swept it under the
DUIs.
rug.
it's not the DUI.
It happens.
It's the publicity and the fact that I mean I don't remember seeing anything about Jimmy and Jay. I've seen a lot about this Jeff Hardy thing, probably because he's a multiple offender, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But they don't want to promote it being okay to drink and drive to the younger audience.
Well, look, man.
Well, see-
he was injured. He was laid up. He wasn't wrestling. He had nothing to do. You can't just leave that guy to his own devices.
Here's the thing with
you know?
him, though, too.
He didn't
We don't
miss
even
his
know
time.
when he's supposed to come back. By the time he comes back anyway, people will have forgotten anyway. So it's just...
Well, I was hearing a lot of talk that him and Big Cash should be back soon, around after WrestleMania, right after
he's
WrestleMania.
7 feet tall.
Nice.
Can't teach that.
What about Enzo?
Oh, he's done.
Enzo will not be coming back. Enzo is done. Enzo is donezo.
Even though
Still
he,
selling his merch.
even though
They
he's the
are.
realest guy in the room.
Yeah.
I miss Enzo. I do. He was the only reason I had to ever tune in to 205 Live. Now I'll just never watch it because there's no Enzo.
All right, let's wrap up Monday Night Raw here. I got a couple of things.
I
If you
thought
guys
we were
got
already
some
done
stuff
with
you wanna
that.
add,
We,
we'll
we
talk
talked about SmackDown already.
We jumped around a little bit, but
You're fired.
Elias came out with a neck brace and left without doing a performance. Blamed the fans for the fact that he got his neck all busted up by Braun Strowman. They told us last week that Ronda Rousey was going to be on every Monday Night Raw leading up to WrestleMania, and then she didn't show up this week on Monday Night Raw. And
She did show up. She
Last
showed
but
up in a video package.
yeah, the same video package that we saw 3 times during Fastlane, multiple times during SmackDown.
I'm
and
just
probably 2
saying.
or 3 times on Raw.
I'm just saying that during Monday Night Raw, you saw Ronda Rousey's face.
Yeah. All right.
Technically, they didn't
Can't
lie.
deny that.
So no Ronda, Elias neck brace, and then last Miz TV, we had Seth and Finn come out. Miz tried to stir the pot a little bit. Seth and Finn weren't having it, and then Seth made some off-color comments to Finn. Finn got pissed, said, "Oh yeah, well last time we had a title match, who pinned who?" And to drive the point home, they had a match, and Finn pinned Seth.
Listen, I want to see that alternate universe where Finn won that Universal title but didn't get injured. Like,
Yeah.
I want to see what that WWE looks like right now. You know what I mean? Because that was one of those things we saw and we couldn't believe they did that shit. Because as we watching it, I don't know about you, but when I was watching, I assumed that Seth Rollins was going to win the Universal title, you know?
Oh yeah.
And no, Finn won that shit. And it was just like, oh, shit. Okay, where do we go now? Oh, never mind. He's injured. All right. I'm really curious as to what the WWE would have looked like right now had Finn won that and not been hurt.
Oh yeah.
Kevin Owens
It would have been.
That's the big question. If Finn won and kept it, would Kevin Owens have ever won that title?
It's a good question. Who knows?
All right, you guys got anything else from Monday Night Raw, or let's finish up with SmackDown? I know I don't want to run over my time. Otherwise, when we get off air, Travis PP spanks me.
It's fine. You know what? If you can run over if you want. I'm just gonna tell you now what I'm gonna start doing. I'm just gonna cut the show off at 60 minutes, no matter where it happens.
I understand that. So, all right, on SmackDown, we'll get the bullshit out of the way first. Randy Orton came out and watched a match, and Jinder Mahal clause at WrestleMania. Jinder Mahal beat Bobby Roode, and then Randy Orton arc threat match at Mania.
Wait, say that one more
Looks
time for me,
like-
sir. Say that one more time for me, sir. I lost you for a second.
I said Randy Orton came out. Bobby Roode challenged him or told him he's going to have his rematch at WrestleMania. Jinder had a match. Jinder won. Randy RKO'd him. It's probably going to be a triple threat
Yeah,
at Mania.
yeah. Of course, we know that. Yeah.
Carmella beat Naomi in a singles match to promote what we are now having. I'm assuming we're not having the Andre the Giant Memorial or Fabulous Moolah Memorial Battle Royal, or maybe we're having both. I haven't heard much about Andre the Giant this year, but I
haven't
did hear
heard
that
any
they're
about
doing
the
a
Andre the
women's
Giant.
battle royal.
Yeah, they haven't mentioned it.
Yeah,
at all,
they haven't mentioned
so I
Andre the
doubt it.
Giant Battle Royal at all. So I'm guessing we're gonna get the Moolah thing instead. Which, okay.
And the only interesting thing about this is Carmella alluded to the fact that she may or may not win that battle royal and have other surprises at WrestleMania. She has to cash in that Money in the Bank by June. If she cashes it in, I don't see her. There's one of two scenarios I see. I see her surprising everyone and cashing it in during the Raw Women's match or after the Raw Women's match, or cashing it in during the Asuka Charlotte match and pinning Charlotte so Asuka's undefeated streak stays intact.
I
Yeah, I
think
could definitely see that happening.
what they'll do, she won't cash it in at Mania. She'll cash it in on the SmackDown afterwards or the Raw afterwards. She's not gonna do it at Mania. She's gonna Dolph Ziggler it and do it the next night on Raw or on SmackDown.
I get that, and I hear you, and everyone should take note of what Travis said because he writes the show now for WWE. That's probably what's going to happen. But my issue with that, and this is just my thought process, is Carmella's not that kind of fighter. She runs scared from everyone. She slides in. She doesn't straight up challenge anyone. And
Neither
she's
did
definitely
Dolph
not gonna
Ziggler,
go
though. That's what I'm saying.
with that.
Neither did Dolph Ziggler when he won the World Heavyweight title. Alberto Del Rio was half dead in the ring the night after WrestleMania on Monday Night Raw when he cashed in his Money in the Bank. That's why I said she'll Dolph Ziggler it.
Okay. I'm just saying, I don't see her using it on Asuka, period.
Yeah, it'll
She's
be.
scared shitless, Asuka,
She'll
so if
probably
she does,
use it
it'll
on.
be Raw.
I can see it how she could use it on Raw, on the Raw winner, like Nia Jax, who had like a grueling match the night before, and then has a grueling match the next night on Monday Night Raw, and she's like half dead in the ring, and then she comes in and picks the bones of whoever's left in the ring.
Yeah. Speaking of Asuka, Charlotte came out and addressed Asuka, and they had a little promo segment between the two of them, hyping their match. Asuka wants to be the woman, so she's got to beat the woman. Charlotte wants to face the best competition, and Asuka's the best competition. Blah 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 blah.
Listen,
It'll
sir.
be a good match.
Listen. Nobody is ready for Asuka.
Yeah, she made that clear. And then our main event, AJ and Shinsuke for WrestleMania. We got it solidified after AJ won what was honestly, in my opinion, a great six-pack challenge. Like, that was way better than I thought it was going to be at Fastlane.
Yeah.
It was. It
Oh, yeah, it
impressed
was
me.
fantastic.
Only gripe
not
I
sure
have
why.
with that, the only gripe I have with that is I think John Cena should have taken the pinfall. But other than that,
I agree.
it would have really fed into his whole story of not having a path to WrestleMania and all that kind of shit. Like, it would have helped if he was the one that took the pinfall. But other than that, yeah, I enjoyed that match.
Also at Fastlane, Rusev lost to Shinsuke, which I guess when Shinsuke and AJ were having their one-on-one confrontation was a good enough reason for Rusev to come out and challenge AJ to a match. Shinsuke kind of saved AJ's ass at the end of it from getting jumped by Rusev and Aiden. need your help. And Shinsuke's like, I'm always going to be there to help you to make sure you're at the top of your game going into WrestleMania because I don't want any excuses when I knee you in the face.
Strong style.
Yeah, I wish he had a manager.
Yeah, he's a little tough to understand. I'll give him that.
That's what I'm saying. Like we've talked about this before about how they need to bring the manager back. Like there's certain superstars who need a manager. Shinsuke is
Mr.
one.
Yamaguchi-san.
Yeah,
Mr. Yamaguchi-san or
he-
Mr. Fuji. Remember Mr. Fuji? I miss Mr. Fuji.
No. Mr. Fuji's great, but I need more choppy pee. I need Yamaguchi-san.
Yeah, man, but we don't really have like, the Heenan family anymore or like, all that kind like just stables of wrestlers that are all managed by the same manager. It's just those were good times. They were good times.
Eric, were you going to say something?
No.
Okay.
But yeah,
You guys have any?
like King Kong Bundy,
Go ahead,
like
Travis.
he had the $1 Million Man talking for him. Like it's just like King Kong Bundy wasn't good on the mic, but he had a guy to talk for him.
Yeah. Yeah, they need more of that.
And
Is there anything that we've talked about up till now from Raw or SmackDown you guys want to talk a little bit more about or elaborate on?
well, other
got
than
thoughts
Ronda
on?
Rousey not being on Raw and her needing Paul Heyman to be her manager and she needs to do the F5 as her finisher, no.
Shane really got beat up real bad.
Well, we're getting there. I was saving that for last because that was like the big thing that happened on SmackDown.
Was
So,
it really?
you brought it up, Eric.
Was that really the big
Here it
thing
is.
on SmackDown? Because I don't even think that was really a big thing on SmackDown.
Well, it was the biggest thing on SmackDown. There wasn't a whole lot going on SmackDown, Travis. But
he resigned.
well, yes. So Shane McMahon comes out with this big announcement, and the big announcement is Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. Woohoo! Kevin Owens comes out, starts talking shit. Sami Zayn interrupts him. They both talk shit, and then they go down and they beat the living shit out of Shane McMahon. I mean, we got haluva kicks, we got pop-up power bomb. Shane could barely breathe at the end of this. They were carting him out. But before all that, he told us that he let his emotions get ahead of him and that he was going to resign indefinitely. He's taking indefinite leave as commissioner and that Daniel Bryan will be running the show from here on out. Daniel Bryan is supposed to be back next week. Is this leading to a match involving Shane at WrestleMania? And if so, is it going to be Daniel Bryan and Shane versus Kevin and Sami instead of Kevin versus Sami?
I hope so. But
Here's
I doubt
the
it.
thing. I have a hard time believing that Daniel Bryan will not be involved in this some way, somehow. I feel like what'll end up happening, which doesn't make me happy, but I feel like what'll end up happening will be a whole Shane and Mr. Daniel Bryan Danielson taking on KO and Sami Zayn. I don't want that, but I feel like that's what's going to end up happening. Right. What I really want is that Shane versus Daniel Bryan. The problem is I don't feel like we're going to get that, and it upsets me. And I'm going to sit here and pout till we get it.
Travis, the only way we're going to get that is I'm thinking if Daniel Bryan's in this match, when he comes back next week, he tells us that the reason he wasn't at the Fastlane pay-per-view and he wasn't at SmackDown was he was getting cleared by the doctors. The only way we're getting Shane versus Daniel Bryan is if he comes out, does a complete and total 180 heel turn, and says that he's been orchestrating this all from the beginning, and he was the man behind Kevin and Sami's actions to take Shane out, and then a week or two down the road, Shane comes back and confronts him as he, takes that heel turn and starts running SmackDown his way.
I feel you. I don't care how they get there. But if the only match I want to see Daniel Bryan involved in right now is against Shane. So if I don't get that, I don't want to see him in the ring right now.
Yeah, them coming together as a tag team doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. I mean, it gets to be interesting to see, but you're right. Like Shane versus Daniel Bryan would be, that's the match everybody wants to see.
Well, it doesn't make sense now, but if he does come out and he was getting cleared to wrestle, and he talks about how, he gave these guys chance after chance, and their actions last week were inexcusable, blah 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 blah, this and that, then and he starts taking Shane's side and moving more towards Shane's thought process as opposed to the give everyone a chance, bullshit ass superstar top 10 list sort of thing. I could see them coming
Mm-hmm.
together as a tag team to take these two
That's true.
on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
It's
if
all
they
how they
do
look.
that, it makes sense. I don't want to see it, but it would make sense if they did that. That's all I'm saying. I'm just like, only thing I want to see is Daniel Bryan versus Shane. I'll accept it if they do it the other way that you're saying. It will make sense, but what I want is Daniel Bryan Danielson against Shane McMahon.
Daniel Bryan Danielson, I like that.
That's not my
The only
thing.
reason I
That's
said
from
this
the
was
Pro
the big
Wrestling
thing,
Report.
Travis, I was going to say the only reason I said this was the big thing was that beatdown that they gave Shane, that pop-up power bomb on the supply box or whatever you want to call it, that crate in the back. Shane's acting, either Shane was a really good actor or a really bad actor. I'm not sure which. Crying and moaning like a motherfucker.
Exactly. That whole
He was
thing, I
really
went with the bad actor side of him.
crying
Like,
back.
I was just like, dude, I'm gonna need you to just stop that now because your noises that you're making are annoying me. So just shut the fuck up.
Nah,
See, that's
I
the
thought he was
thing.
legitimately hurt.
See, that's what I'm saying. On one hand, it's like maybe that like really, really, really fucking hurt.
Yeah,
And on the
I
other
kind
hand,
of knew he
he
was
wasn't a
though.
bad actor.
Hmm.
I think he sold that really well. Is basically what it was.
All right. Well, you guys got anything real quick you want to cover from Fastlane? We didn't really go over it. We just kind of talked about the major points.
No.
From Fastlane. No, you already went through how right I was, so I'm good.
Yeah. The only thing I think we all got wrong was Randy Orton winning that United States title.
Got that right.
Did you? I don't know. I'll have to check.
Here's the thing, man. Like, I don't even
after
think I
I
was
argued-
wrong on that. I feel like
I
WWE
did
was
listen to
wrong
the
on that
podcast
one.
and write stuff down.
I feel like WWE got that one wrong. It's just like, why? What's the point? What's the point?
No,
Like-
man. I kept saying Randy Orton needs gold. You can't just the Viper needs gold, man.
I understand that, but
You can't
even
have
just
that
that
guy walking
quick,
around
smart,
with no gold.
even that quick, SmackDown started up and like, oh, that's right. Randy Orton won the U.S. title. Who gives a fuck? Like, it's honestly one of those things you watch and you're like,
Eric, I completely disagree with that statement.
Yeah, right. He needs gold.
Eric, I completely disagree with that statement. Personally, I don't think he needs gold. As a matter of fact, all I need from Randy Orton is to randomly and just come out and RKO someone and then disappear.
No.
Like, every once in a while we'll get a match so we can remember how great he is in the ring. But I just really need to I just need him to start RKOing people out of nowhere, just randomly backstage, hit a fucking announcer just for shits and giggles.
with RKO
Come
out of nowhere. Yeah.
Charlotte in the middle of the ring with an RKO. Fuck it. That's all I need.
Yeah. You know what, Matt? You know what?
I mean,
When it comes to
he
wrestling,
can
you
do
and
that
I,
too, but he needs gold.
here's the thing, Matt. You and I usually juxtapose to each other when it comes to wrestling. You know, when we were growing up, you were a Stone Cold fan, I was a Rock fan. You know, it was just like it was the two of us back and forth. But on this one thing right here, I agree with you. I just need every now and then put him in a match to remind us how great Randy Orton is in the ring. But outside of that, just RKO people out of nowhere, and I'm cool. The U.S. title, why do you have that belt? Give it to Rusev. We all know that Rusev needs to have that title on around his waist. What the fuck are you all doing?
I agree.
Rusev Day.
Other announcements. I guess news-wise, I know you guys probably haven't heard this or know this. Aleister Black last week won a number one contendership match. He will be facing Andrade Cien Almas at NXT TakeOver New Orleans for the NXT Championship. Also, they will be debuting at NXT TakeOver New Orleans. It'll be their mid-card title, like their intercontinental.
Matt. Debuting what? You broke up again.
North American Championship. So it's not the U.S. title because we're going to include Canada now. It's us and Canada Championship.
And Mexico is part of North America, sir.
I thought it was part of Central America.
No, Mexico is part of North America. Respect our neighbor to the south, sir.
Yeah, Matt.
Wait, if they're south of North America, then they're not North
They're
America.
south of America.
They're south of the
part of
United
North
States of
America.
America. They're part of North America.
Okay. Well, then, if Travis is correct and Mexico is not part of Central
Travis
America,
is always
sure
correct. All right? Get it straight.
that is not true.
It is true.
We will. Anyway, it's a North American Championship. It's going to be their U.S. or Intercontinental title for NXT, a new championship that they are debuting at NXT TakeOver New Orleans. There's also rumors that we are going to get 205 Live Tag Team titles as well.
Respect
Travis
Mexico.
is holding up a luchador match.
Respect Mexico.
And I'll give that to him because it is actually the colors of the Mexican flag.
Exactly.
So, otherwise, that'd just be racist saying that mask represents Mexico because it's a mask. That'd be fucked up.
But it's Rey Mysterio's mask. You don't recognize the Rey Mysterio mask?
Not the way you were holding it, but now I do. I see the cross. You had it like folded, and I was just like, okay, it's Mexican colors.
Booyaka, booyaka.
619. Who apparently we're not going to see face John Cena at WrestleMania.
No, we're not. I
who knows?
told you it was going to be Taker. But go ahead.
I'm just saying it was a rumor that was going around. He's supposedly in talks, so who knows what he's doing. Maybe he'll go to 205 Live, and he'll be in the finale for the tournament that's going to take place at WrestleMania for the 205 Live Cruiserweight title.
Listen. If you would just listen to me, I will tell you how things are going to go down. All right? If you need any further proof, see Fastlane. I told you what the fuck was going to go down. But nobody listens to Travis. It's not like I've been watching this my entire life.
Travis. Here's the problem with that. I didn't want any of what you said to happen way more than my brain was telling me Travis is probably right.
Here's the thing. Like, what you want is irrelevant. I'm still right.
But me, and to me, all that mattered was what I want, not what Travis had to say. So I disregarded everything because in my mind, the only opinion that matters is my own. No, fuck that. I don't want that. That's not happening.
It's okay.
And you were right. You were right about Fastlane. You were right about a lot of stuff leading into WrestleMania. I will give you that credit. I gave you that credit. You're not. We're not talking about that anymore. It's done. You got it on Monday Night Raw, guys.
Strowman.
I agree. Even though I wanted to give,
I don't think there's any other.
Yeah, I wanted to give it to John Cena before that battle royale. I'm like, oh, John Cena's winning, but then like, oh yeah, Braun Strowman really took that shit.
Yeah, no, there's no other choice there. Who's losing on Monday Night Raw?
Alexa Bliss.
Eric?
Who am I gonna go with? To me.
Well, there's only you and me.
Yeah, you go.
I am gonna go with the entire tag division is losing.
They lost. Oh, they really, really lost.
There were
That's a good
probably 12 men in that ring, and they all got together to take out Braun Strowman, and they still all lost that match.
Listen,
12 on 1. He
listen.
won.
Like,
they all lost.
Braun Strowman as the solo tag team champs on Raw is my new favorite thing, even though it hasn't happened yet. Like, it's just, God
Also,
damn.
Those guys couldn't beat the Bar, right? Now, with 12 of them in the ring, Braun Strowman beat them all. So how do any of those tag teams go into a tag team title match against Braun Strowman with any hope of doing anything as just 2 people when you had 12 and you couldn't
You
get
know
the
who's
job
going to win the tag titles from Braun Strowman? Roman
Oh,
Reigns.
No.
Yep.
What it will be,
Telling you, dude.
they will
That's what's
form a
gonna happen.
tag team with motherfucking Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, and they will beat Braun Strowman. I'm telling you, that's what's gonna happen. Just accept it. Just accept it. I saw that moment in the ring with the 2 of them, like, oh, this is a tag team right here. They're gonna do it. And now Jeff Hardy's just not coming back anytime soon because he fucked up and got a DUI. This is definitely happening now.
Kind of like when you said John Cena was going to challenge The Undertaker. It's just something that I don't want to happen so bad. Like, I don't want to see that tag team so fucking bad.
Oh, I know.
And when it happens, it's going to crush my fucking soul.
Oh, I know.
But we got to keep moving. SmackDown, who's winning?
SmackDown. I'll say the Bludgeon Brothers.
I agree again. Eric?
I'm gonna go with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens because they got to beat up their boss.
Well, that's good because my pick for who's losing was going to be Shane McMahon.
I
Travis,
agree. That's
Eric?
where I was going with too. Shane's losing.
I was gonna go with Baron Corbin because he wasn't even on the show.
Didn't even make the show.
Didn't even make the cut.
No, but he had an amazing showing at Fastlane in that match.
The match that he
Anyway,
lost.
He didn't lose.
Yeah, he did. Did he win? Did he lost?
It doesn't count as a loss.
Oh, it
You didn't
does.
win,
Should've
but you
been
didn't
pinned.
lose.
Even if you don't take the pinfall, if you didn't win, you
No,
lost.
we
It's
agree
one.
that
It's
John
one.
Cena
Yeah, he should have taken the pinfall. John Cena definitely should have taken the pinfall. But everybody who didn't get the pinfall lost.
It felt like Corbin
Eric,
in spirit.
remember how when we were talking about Sir Hugs a lot and you said don't drive it into the ground? I
Yeah.
believe that's the point of reach with you and Baron Corbin now. I think you need to find something new to harp on. I think you've pretty much just driven the he's a bum, and every time everything he does looks like a lost thing into the ground now.
You'd think so. You'd
No,
think so, and
I'm
it's at
actually
its low.
telling
It's
you.
at its low point right now, but it's gonna be funny again
And
pretty
no,
soon.
I don't think so.
Here's
I
the
think
thing
I
with
think you
that.
pretty much
It'll become funny again as long as you stick with it, Eric. That's the thing. You got to stick with
Exactly.
it. Eventually, it'll be
Thank you,
funny
Travis.
again. And you know what? I'll be here to laugh at it.
Perfect. It's not funny right now. I'll admit it.
It's not.
landing.
Right now, it's
It'll
not
come
funny.
back.
But the thing is, eventually, it'll be funny because you kept at it.
It's gonna come back.
It'll be
around,
one of
I'm
those
telling
things that is funny because he keeps saying it.
see. I think it'll be funnier if you let not expecting it, and then boom, 3-4 weeks from now, he just hits me with a Baron Corbin's a bum. I
Was
think that much more entertaining, but
That's
that
fine.
doesn't matter. What matters is our podcast has come to
Aw.
an end so that I don't get yelled at, and we have a few things to talk about. So, Travis, where can they find you, and what other shows would you like to plug before we go?
Well, you can find me on both Twitter and Instagram at Sir_Cussalot. That is at SIR_CUSSALOTT. Also, if you're a fan of the superhero shows on the CW, those DC shows, Supergirl, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow, Black Lightning. Check out Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow. Great podcast. Fun times. We also have a Facebook group, facebook.com/group/Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow. Also, latest episode of Creation Conversation went live last week. If you're just a fan of film and television in general, it's a fun time. We talk about the latest news of the month. We also all present a topic that is film and television related, and we discuss it. And we also play a little game at the end. It's fun. Check it out. Creation Conversation.
You can also find us, the Smackin' It Raw host, at Facebook at www.facebook.com/groups/Smackin' It Raw. We will be here every week to give you content. You can find me, your host, at Matt Ritter. That is at MATTRIDDER on Twitter. No Instagram. Not doing that shit. Eric, you got anything at all?
SmackDown, Facebook.
Smackdown Facebook.
If you guys join us for pay-per-views, we do cover the pay-per-views on Facebook. And big announcement this week, our first ever live show will be immediately after WrestleMania, because it's WrestleMania, and also because Eric won't be here. So we're going to do our first live show after WrestleMania.
Facebook.com/Creation Magazine.
I'll call in. I'll call in.
No, you won't. You won't be on it.
That is it for our show.
Sure. You can't stop me.
Good night, everybody.
Later.
Good night, everybody.
We are Smackin' It Raw, and we are that damn good.